Hi, my name's Rachael, and I'm here to talk about the Gunnison Watershed, as well as the native fish that is no longer prevalent in most of the watershed. The Gunnison Watershed is one of the largest forks of the Colorado River. This is extremely important for the ecosystem of the Colorado River, as well as the Gunnison. One thing that you'll find in all of the Gunnison tributaries are 4 species of trout. These 4 species of trout consist of rainbow trout, brown trout, brook trout, and cutthroat trout. The issue is only one of these trout are native to the ecosystem, and they are the least common in this watershed. I'm in this beautiful little creek right now, fishing what should be pristine cutthroat water. And all I got is brown trout so far. One of the reasons behind this is brown trout compete extremely well against cutthroat, and they outcompete them and they wipe them out of some ecosystems. Luckily, brown trout can only live to a certain elevation because their native range is actually in Europe. They don't even belong in the Americas. The other 2 type of invaders are rainbow trout and brook trout. These 2 types of fish are both native to America, but the issue is where they're native. Rainbow trout are native all the way from Alaska all the way down to California. Meanwhile, brook trout are native to the completely opposite side of this country, the Appalachian Mountains. The issue is both these fish are extremely competitive, as well as the issue of rainbow trout being able to crossbreed with cutthroat trout. So cutthroat trout have it extremely tough in between the fish that outcompete them for resources, as well as the environment itself is changing, and the only place you can really find cutthroat trout anymore are in the highest alpine lakes and most remote creeks. Before we really understood the importance of the natural environment, we restocked the entire ecosystem with these 3 invasive fish species. There was 4 subspecies of cutthroat trout, and one of them, the yellowfin cutthroat, my native cutthroat trout to where I grew up, Buena Vista, has already gone extinct. And the other 3 subspecies have healthy populations, but if we do not continue managing this resource in a proper way, this healthy resource of these cutthroat trout will vanish. There's a couple organizations that help out with cutthroat trout and just this beautiful watershed in general, from this small creek that I'm in to giant tailwaters to massive reservoirs that hold monster lake trout, as well as pike and other game fish species. I would just like to see a more diverse group of native fish in this range. We have an extreme amount of non-native fish. That's one thing I'd like to see in this future. The other issues that cutthroat trout face is climate change, as well as predation from people, as well as other animals, due to them being in such unique environments. I'm going to show a couple clips of me fishing, catching some of these non-native trout, even though they are fun as all heck. Love fishing for them, but they're not native, so they're not as cool. I wish I could get you guys some footage of native cutthroat trout, but since it's springtime, you can see maybe that there's snow around me, but because it's springtime, those high alpine lakes and creeks are completely frozen over. So I'll get you some footage of rainbows, browns, and maybe some brook trout. Thank you guys for watching, and you can watch the fishing now. Alrighty guys, I finally got one on the dry. The eat was off camera sadly, but Beautiful little brown trout. So an interesting thing about brown trout is a lot of people think that they're actually native to the United States, but they're actually native to Germany. That's why you'll sometimes hear them called German browns, or native to most of Europe, actually. Like the United Kingdom has brown trout, as well as many other places around the world. One thing that happened when the railroads came about in the 1800s is on those railroads a lot of fish stocking occurred. Well, most of those fish weren't native, so all from different places, from like Appalachia, it's where the brook trout's native to, and they're all over the Rockies now, as well as rainbow trout. They're native to like the California area, but the only native trout species in Colorado is the cutthroat trout. But due to us stocking these other fish all over the United States, cutthroat trout have been pushed out of their range, and they now only live in alpine lakes or the most remote streams. And so when you're in springtime like this, it's almost impossible to get up to some of those alpine lakes and super remote streams, just due to the fact that they're all still snowed in. Nice colored up rainbow.